Hello and welcome back to the garden. Today we're going to look at lifting onions and shallots. Now the process I'm going to show you works the same for the most of the onion family. So whether it be red onions, white onions, shallots and garlic, you do exactly the same thing. The only thing you don't use this technique on is on spring onions and leeks. You just leave them in the ground and harvest them when you need them and use them fresh. So let's go over to the onion bed and have a look at what to do. Okay, so for the onion family, when onions bend over like this, that means that they're ready to come out of the ground and ready for drying. So when the necks have gone over, that's the best time to lift them. With shallots and garlic, as you'll notice, the leaves have tended to go fairly yellow. And when the leaves have gone yellow, it means that there's no more nutrients in the ground that they're taking up, and they're ready to lift at that point. So what you need to do is use a fork, either a hand fork or a large fork, and you need to just get underneath the actual vegetable. You need to get right underneath and just tease it gently out of the ground, and because it's been really dry, these are well bedded in. Now when you take the onion out, you need to keep as much of that root on it as possible. So the same with garlic and with the shallots. That root is keeping a plate together that's on the bottom of the onion. And you need to keep that intact so that that doesn't mean that the onion separates while it's drying out and dries out completely. So whenever you lift anything from the onion family, keep those roots attached. So that's how to do an onion. With shallots, exactly the same process, except they're in clumps. So just get underneath the clump, lift that clump out, and again, keep the roots as intact as possible, because again, it just keeps that plate in place. That just keeps that whole. So all I need to do then is just take the rest of these up, and then we'll go and have a look at how we dry them. Okay, so to dry them out, just lay them on some racking, and I'm using the spare greenhouse. You need somewhere that's warm and dry. Lay it on the racking, leave the green shoots up on top. You don't need to cut them off until they're completely dry. Give them space in between so they've got air coming from below and above, and that will help dry them out. If you wanted to use them now, you can use them now perfectly fine. Just take them inside and chop them up and cook with them as you would normally. So I've got the garlic already drying out, and that's over this side. So they're really drying out now. The leaves have gone completely yellow, and the bulbs are getting quite dry. When that's completely dried out, and they're almost flaking as you touch the leaves, a bit like they are doing there, they'll be ready to put away. So you do exactly the same thing with shallots, your garlic and the red onions. Now because we've been having some really warm weather recently, you can leave them on the soil to dry out. So leave them on the soil for a few weeks in the sun, that will help dry them out. If you're expecting rain, I would take them inside to somewhere like a greenhouse or a sheltered spot. So that's all we've got time for today. Hope you found that really useful, and we'll see you back in the garden very soon.